Hello YouTube, so today we're going to be going over the Witchcrafter Sky Striker deck profile. Alright, so getting into it, we play 1 Aruru, 1 Madame Very, and 1 Adele, 3 Escamita, 2 Ray, 2 Pyore, 3 Ash, 2 Patere, and 2 Jenny, whatever it is. Sorry about that, I really butchered all of their names. 2 Vector Blast, 3 Creation, an Upstart, a Terraforming, 2 Holiday, a Shark Cannon, a Hornet Drums, 2 Unveiling, 2 Widow Anchor, a Scroll, 2 Area 0, 3 Infinite Impermanence, a Masterpiece, and a Patronus. And for the extract, a Digresto Emerald, an Abyss Dweller, a Topologic Zeragoras, Warlord Dragon, Nightmare Phoenix, Zeke, Barricade Port Blocker, IP Masquerena, 2 Shizuku, 2 Kagari, a Kaina, and a Hayate Karibo. For the side deck, we play a Driver, 2 Spear Mode, 3 Gamma Seal, 3 Gamma, and 3 Cosmic, and 3 Twin. So, okay, so, yeah, so that's the actual deck itself. Okay, we're going to be going the next section of the video is going to be explaining how the Witchcrafter cards work. And then after that, the next section is going to be explaining how the Sky Striker engine works. So if you want to skip that, you should probably skip it now. Okay, so today we're, for this section of the video, we're going to be going over the Witchcrafter Sky Striker, or Witchcrafter, engine of the Witchcrafter Sky Striker deck. So Ruru allows you to bounce an opponent's card and add back a Witchcrafter spell in your graveyard, and then special summon itself, and it's a pretty big beater, so that's pretty cool. Madame Very allows you to negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of the turn by discarding a spell, and that's pretty good, but it's not like a skill drain. It's only your opponent's monsters that they currently control, so like if they special summon another monster, then that monster won't be affected by it. Adele allows you to discard a spell to special summon a Witchcrafter monster from your hand, except Adele. You can target a spellcaster monster from your graveyard and special summon it. Escamita allows you to... Okay, well, all of the Witchcrafter small monsters from 4 to 0, or 4 to 1 allow you to do the same basic thing during the phase quick effect. You contribute to discard a spell, special summon a Witchcrafter monster from your deck, except itself. And then all of their secondary effects are different, so this one allows you to banish it from the graveyard to send a Witchcrafter from your deck to the graveyard, except Escamita. Patori allows you to, draw a card and then banish it, draw a card, and then send a Witchcrafter from your hand to the graveyard, or if you don't have any Witchcrafters in your hands, discard your entire hand. Pytere allows you to add back a Witchcrafter card in your hand by banishing it from your graveyard. Jenny allows you to banish it in the Witchcrafter spell to basically copy the spell's effect for the rest of the turn. And so basically with the Witchcrafter monsters, which is really interesting, so Escamita and the other Witchcrafter monsters don't specify, so you can actually so they don't specify that you have to bring out like one of the bigger monsters, like it has to be like a level 5 or higher monster. So basically what you can do is you can activate Escamita's effects to discard a spell to special summon, to attribute it, discard a spell, special summon a Witchcrafter from your deck, and then you can go through the chain. Escamita special summon Pytori, special summon Patori, whatever, Patori, special summon Jenny, and then you can activate all of their effects in the graveyard, and then gain advantage that way, and that's pretty cool. So then when you banish Escamita, you're probably going to be wanting to send like a scroll or something like that that will allow you to add it back during the end phase. So yeah, that's all of that is pretty cool. It's interesting to say the least. So something that I tried. Okay, so fans starting in the background. Sorry about that. So something that I tried playing. The reason that the Sky Striker engine is in here is because you don't want to. So like if I added like Nibiru or Gamma or something like that in here, then that wouldn't be that good. Simply because your Witchcrafter monsters have to discard spells, and you like if you're running too many monsters, then it's gonna clog up your hand and you're gonna break and it's gonna suck. If you run like the more spells you run, basically, the better. That's basically the thing of the deck. You want to run as many spells as possible, and you know that's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. So with Skimita, you probably most of the time wants to send Masterpiece, I believe. So this card reads, this is when it's set on the field. If you control a Witchcrafter monster, target a spell in either your graveyard, add a card with the same name from your deck to your hand. So you could potentially even add like your Sky Striker cards from your deck to your hand, but then if it's in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent to the graveyard, banish it and any number of spells, special summon a Witchcrafter from your deck with 8 equal levels to the number of spells banished by its effect. You can only use each effective Masterpiece once per turn. Patronus says when it's on the field, you can target one of your spellcaster monsters that is banished from your graveyard, shuffle them into your deck, and if you do, add a Witchcrafter spell from your deck to your hand. If it's in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, and then target any number of your banished Witchcrafter spells with different names, add them to your hand. You can only use each effective Patronus once per turn. So basically, you want to banish your spells off of Masterpiece to special summon a Witchcrafter monster, and then banish Patronus to add all of your spells back. So that's basically the combo with these two, which is, you know, for the most part, it's pretty interesting. Okay, so Witchcrafter spells. Witchcrafter creation allows you to search your Witchcrafter monsters. Holiday reborns a Witchcrafter monster into unveiling. Special summons a Witchcrafter from your hand. And then your opponent can't activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your spellcaster monster effects for the rest of the turn, which is, you know, pretty cool. So basically with the Witchcrafter monsters, if you open any one of them, it's basically like opening all of them, which is, you know, pretty cool. As long as you have like enough spells in your hand, you do have to check that pretty frequently to make sure that you have enough spells to discard, so that you're not just like normal summoning a monster and it's doing nothing. So another thing that all of the spells do, thinking of something else, but before I, you know, do anything else, all of the Witchcrafter spells, if you control a Witchcrafter monster, then you can, during the end phase, add it back to your hand, which is, it's pretty cool. But of course, you can only use one Witchcrafter creation effect per turn, and only once that turn. So for example, if you use the search effect of creation, you can't add it back that turn. If you use the reborning effect of holiday, you can't use the other effect to add it back that turn. Same with unveiling. The traps don't have that clause. So yeah, that's something just to keep note of, and that is the Witchcrafter engine. Moving on to the Sky Striker engine, we play 2 Ray, 2 Vector Blast, 2 Anchor, and then 2 Area 0. So and then the Terraforming, and then of course Upstart is basically for a 39 card deck. So Ray is good. But it's not like incredibly good. It allows you to search your Sky Striker cards, so yeah, it basically just allows you to search your Sky Striker cards. That's the main point of it. Vector Blast allows you to mill 2. You do have to be careful though, because your opponent will be milling 2 as well. But like if you mill your Witchcrafter monsters, or even your Witchcrafter spells or traps, then that's still pretty good, because like even your Witchcrafter monsters want to be sent to the graveyard. And as for your Sky Striker cards, that's fine too, as long as you don't hit, like, the only cards that you don't want to have in the graveyard would be any of these three, or actually these two. Okay, this card. You don't want to have this card, because this card can reborn either of these two. So you don't want to send this card, you don't want to send your hand traps, and you don't want to send Upstart. Those are the only cards. Oh yeah, Terraforming as well. You don't want to send Terraforming. So those are the only cards that you don't want to send. So that's like, that's 11 cards you don't want to know, which, you know, is a pretty good portion of your deck, but hopefully you'll be drawing anyways. So yeah, that is Vector Blast. Vector Blast is really pretty cool. Oh yeah, and then Shark Cannon and Widow Anchor, or Hornet Drones. Hornet Drones, as I explained in the Sky Striker Thunder Dragon deck profile, it has a cool combination with Cereboros. Shark Cannon and banish a monster from your opponent's graveyard. You know, it's pretty good. Pretty cool. So I think that, don't quote me on this because I'm not a judge, but I believe that this has the ability to banish hand traps from the graveyard. So it's like a Called by the Grave that's searchable, basically, and reoccurable. Hornet Drones is cool because, you know, it just allows it to get into your engine quicker. It's like your third copy of Ray, and of course, again, it's, you know, it has an interesting combination with Cereboros. Widow Anchor negates Area 0, allows you to get into your Sky Striker cards quicker, and to be honest, it's just a really good card because you can just send your other Witchcrafter spells to the graveyard, and it just, if you send them to the graveyard, you aren't negating, so that's, you know, pretty cool. For the extra, we play 2 Shizuku, 2 Kagari, 1 Kaina, and 1 Hayate. Shizuku adds a Striker card from your deck to your hand, or spell from your deck to your hand. Kagari reoccurs your spells. Kaina is for games in time, and then Hayate sends from the deck to the graveyard. So yeah, that is the Sky Striker portion.